up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Woo! It's time to Wake Up Woodward. It's so good to be back in the building with my brothers. Shout out to Flannel Sam, who will be on Big D Energy today, and then back with the Woo crew Tuesday through Thursday, and I can't wait. But this morning, hey, we got the elite booth in the building. Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth, Mr. Black Hollywood, Rookie of the Year, going for MVP.
What up?
KG.
Always hyping me up, man. What's good, man?
Let's go. Hey, what's the team for?
Hey.
Especially when you're winning. You already know, this is like a Sunday afternoon rec league. We done did 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Hey.
My team is hot.
Damn right, man. Hey, we gonna keep this shit rolling, man. Big week in sports, man. Troy Weaver gone, man.
Let's go.
Hey, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into it.
Hey, shout out to Woodward Sports MVP in the sound booth. That is the bouncer.
Breast.
The bouncer.
The bouncer. That's JBSMOOOOOV.
The bouncer. Where'd I get this nickname
He got the
from
chain, the black shirt, the hat, man. He looks like he will mess somebody up right now.
You know what? I'm not mad at the bouncer. That's a nice little nickname,
That's
JB.
The bouncer. All right, that might stick. I don't know.
Hey, shout out to Justin, that dude Justin. I'm loving it. I see you got the orange to pop with the Motor City Connect.
Yeah, I love this combination. It's one of my favorite jersey hat combinations I have, and it low-key shows what the Tigers should have done.
Hey, and you had a pretty eventful weekend, huh?
Yes, I did. I was down at the Grand Prix, got some good interviews, which you'll see at the 9:15 hour,
Nice.
and then I also just had a great time. It's so fun down there during the Grand Prix. There's so much going on, so much to see, so much to do. The cars are just humming down the track. It's so fun.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I'm glad you got to get that experience. Can't wait for that segment as well. I'm glad you got that on the show sheet, Broder.
Definitely.
And how are you feeling this morning, man?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be back. What an eventful weekend. We were teasing some ideas of what the Pistons were going to do, what the Tigers were going to do.
Yeah.
We're talking like roster personnel-wise on Friday, and a couple of them came true. What about you? How was your weekend? I see you're rocking a new hat for the first time.
Yeah, look, guys, this is the first new hat that I've worn on the show. Shout out to the Toledo Mud Hens. Got to get down there yesterday for a sponsor event. And honestly, it's a good time, man. It's a good time every time I get down there. I think it's my 4th time getting down there for the company now.
That's what's up.
It's dope, man.
Mud Hens games are awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the Wake Up Woodward crew, man. In our text group, you guys are keeping me baseball hip, who to keep an eye on and all that. And it was pretty cool, man, to see Parker Meadows. And I know we're going to talk some Tigers a little bit later because there's definitely some news, but it was really cool to see Parker Meadows just kind of settle in. He just wasn't thinking about – he didn't look like he was stressing at the plate as if there was consequence if he didn't do well. It looked like he was just comfortable to be himself, and he looked a lot more patient, and he had some success.
That's what I like to hear. Someone going down to Toledo, getting their mind right, getting their feels right, back on a baseball. Baseball's a complicated game, but it's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
That's when you're playing your best, when you aren't thinking as much, when you're out of your head. You put in the reps, you put in the work, so you can go and just play baseball. It sounds like Parker Meadows is doing that. There's another Tigers player who we're hoping has that same effect, Spencer Torkelson, who's now going down. He was optioned down to AAA Toledo. Justin Henry Malloy makes his way up to the big leagues. His big league debut coming in hot down in this Texas series.
Yeah.
Tigers got a 3-game series against Texas coming up here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, hey, man, Tigers, they're trying some things now. It was time.
And just as qualified as you are to tell us about the Tigers, our credentialed Lions and Tigers reporter, you want to tell the people as well what we're talking about today?
I do. We're going to talk Tigers in the 9 o'clock hour. So we're going to get into more depth at 9 o'clock.
I'm talking about depth.
We're talking about depth. But we're starting with the Pistons at 8:15. We're going to talk Lions 8:30, 8:45, up until that 9 o'clock hour. We're then going to jump into the Tigers. We're going to see some of Jesus' videos from down in in Detroit. I'm excited I wasn't at the Grand Prix. I've never been. Your interviews were incredible. Intern Justin ain't gonna be intern for too long.
Yeah.
The way things are going, man.
Justin.
I'm excited.
That's what it is.
And we made a little tweak to the beginning of the show now. I know we normally do around the city, testing something out here. Since there's only one team playing, Tigers, they play every day.
2 teams.
Yeah,
Waco,
so
Woodward.
we're going to move layup lines because layup lines are meant to be, get the team warmed up.
You're right.
We're going to move that to this first segment. Just throw some statements, some questions, maybe some fill in the blanks at the crew just to get the juices flowing. Sometimes we're going to be chopping it up for the first 15 minutes. But I got some questions for you just to
you know what?
get into some of this.
It's 2 teams.
Two teams.
Tigers and Waco Woodward. I'm going to probably put that WUW logo in here as well.
You should.
Because it's cold, it's fire. Especially when we start getting out there and doing batting practice and everything. Maybe we can get some kind of jersey shirts.
Yeah.
And have our logo on there. Have our
jerseys?
number. I think that would be dope. I think that would be cold. That's just me. But hey, get our names on the back. Yeah.
I can make it happen.
Let's execute that.
You want me to mock one up? I can do that. I can do it real quick.
Justin, everybody.
Justin, we still waiting on the Boodoo Kids team.
Hey,
What's up?
Man,
What's
that
up?
has
Talk to your boy.
been in the inbox for at least a week.
Oh, he
Plus,
said
okay,
excuses, man.
I'm done taking slander on that. Sorry about it. That's been done for weeks. KG.
September is around the corner, man. We got to get those shirts out.
Hey, then you go talk to the higher ups and you go make it happen. I've already done my
We'll
bit.
make it happen. We will make it happen. But you know what? Let's see some mock-ups. That would be dope.
I got you.
I think that would be
Do you
dope.
want it to be green jersey? Green base jersey?
What you thinking?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Moneyball, baby.
Yellow outline.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like it.
Crispy.
Maybe a yellow hat, like the sunshine. It'll be like the Savannah Bananas, but a little green.
You know what? I like that. The green jersey with the yellow hat. Oh,
I kind of dig those. The red. Did you guys see the Red Sox uniforms
y'all, Wake Up Woodward is a team.
on Saturday?
That's just 6
Nasty.
games in a row now, guys. Run it back, right?
That's 6 games in a row. I think 6 games ago was the last hit Torque had in the big leagues.
Ooh. Elite transition.
No, it's been a while. He hasn't had a hit in the last 4 games. That's for sure. But that's the first question we're going to start out here at Layup Lines. Get the juices flowing. I'm going to give you guys a fill in the blank to start. Just a quick little statement about Spencer Torkelson. Shoot. Tigers sending.
Too. Shout out Josh Horton, who gifted 5 Woodward Sports memberships.
Shout out to you.
Make sure that we, called
Big
that
facts.
Shout out to you. Also, I got
that.
really pissed at loss on Saturday. I did shave the mustache Saturday night.
Yeah, I was
It was
wondering.
time.
That's what's different.
Yeah.
Goodness.
That's time.
You were getting a lot of questions in the chat. I didn't want to throw it out there until you were ready to answer it.
I saw one. I saw it. Well, now they're coming in even more. Xavier D said a lady ate Broder stash.
I was gonna say
something was happening. I saw the little yellow boxes pop up. What?
Is there any functional reason for shaving off the mustache?
No.
You sure?
No, just we were talking superstition on Friday. I was like, you know what? It's time for a change. Maybe the Tigers are about to go on a run.
Maybe.
I feel like
know?
Broder had a date and he's just not telling us.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I feel
He
like.
tried to clean up. He tried to clean up for Fish Girl.
Oh.
That's nasty. Come on, man.
Had some fish on the stash. Got a little fish on the stash. Had to
You know
cut
what? I'm gonna have to get a little clip of Lizzie from Canton too.
Don't
You hear
slander
me?
Lizzie like that.
Mr. Bouncer, I'm gonna give you a Lizzie from Canton as
Lizzie
well.
from Canton, yeah, you gotta
little
send that
3-second
over.
clip.
Ew.
Oh man.
No.
Oh man.
I can't look down at the chat.
Let's get warmed up.
All right, Tigers, sending Spencer Torkelson down to AAA was a blank move. Fill in the blank.
Great. It overdue. I can come up with a lot of words for that. We've been noticing him struggling for quite a while. It's been pretty much the whole month of May he was struggling, man. So it's good that he gets sent down. He gets to work on his game. Hopefully he can be more like a Parker Meadows, who is actually flourishing down in AAA right now. But this is what we wanted to see, man. He needs to work on his game severely, man. And I expect to see him up sooner rather than later. But good for him. Go work on your game.
Yeah, no, this is like that LeBron James meme where he's like, it's about dang time.
Yeah.
That's just how it feels, especially on this show where you guys have been kind of front and center on this as well. Kind of talking a plethora of things about Spencer Torkelson. So to see this finally happen, 1, I'm happy for everybody who's known it's about time for this to happen. 2, I'm hoping that, like we see with some of the other players that have gone down, like Parker Meadows, that he can kind of just be comfortable, focus on the mechanics, focus on just kind of being comfortable at the plate, seeing the pitches, and working on patience. And then ultimately, get better at fielding the ball.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Hey, no, it's true. I see a lot of agreements with you. Great move. overdue move, late move. Looking forward to see what Justin Henry Malloy does when he gets called up. I agree. I don't know if overdue is the right word, but it's the right move. It's time. It was time. He just got to work some things out, especially hearing from Kool-Aid what Parker Meadows just looked like. You know, stats aside, hitting the baseball aside, just looking comfortable playing. That's what I want to see. Number 2, the Lions. JB, I'll come to you here first.
What's up?
Lions have the 3rd most cap space post June 1st. It's about $40 million. Could we see Marshawn Lattimore on the roster by the end of the week?
Man.
Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. And a little background real quick. Lions had $23.72 million available in cap space last year at this time. Just a little less than what they have available now. Considering the $10 million that Cam Sutton, his contract, is part of this $40 million. That's still up in the air, so they might have about 30. But nonetheless, they got money. Could we see Marshawn Lattimore here by the end of the week?
They got money, but are we actually going to spend anything? Are we actually going to do anything with it? I don't personally think so. If anything, you might get a call from Brad Holmes, you know, piquing his interest, but I honestly don't think it's going to happen. Like, there's got to be other positions that we can look and use this money for, but if I'm being honest, I don't think we're going to spend any money.
Marshawn Lattimore, what about, he's a cornerback, what about safety?
I have more of a question, actually. Like, at what point in time does it become more advantageous for Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions to say, you know what? Let's see what we have right now and leave open our flexibility for the trade deadline.
That sounds like a Brad Holmes strategy.
Yeah.
You know, are you leading safety, cornerback?
No, I
anything?
I definitely think they're not going to spend. Maybe towards training camp or the end of camp, we might see a move or two, but I doubt it, man. I think they're rolling with the youth movement right now. I think they like what they have in the room. So, yeah, we'll see, man.
Yeah, that's what kind of inspired my question as well, because if the youth movement, if they're a hit, I don't know if you have to do too much.
You might not.
Yeah.
You might not. We'll see. Last question before we get into the Pistons topic. You see how this is leading into it. Pistons, and if you need me to explain, I think you might understand where I was going with this statement, actually. But let me know. Pistons misspelling Jeremy Grant's name in the press conference release. Announcing the Weaver firing is a small mistake and a massive mistake.
How dare you? Your mortal enemy.
I know.
Who did you pay off to have them misspell his name that badly?
I didn't. That's the problem. I'll say my opinion for a second. What is that a thing? Like,
it's not a good look.
It's both. It's a small mistake and a massive mistake. It's with everything surrounding this organization right now. And talking about, moving forward, things are going to be better. These are the types of things that make the skeptics and the people who've been kicked all the way below the dirt by this franchise over the years. These are the things that make them just say, you know what, this is not getting off to a good start already. People are not optimistic. So everything has to be a home run right now.
That's the thing. Everything needs to be tight. It needs to be precise, like spelling a former player's name correctly. That's a small mistake. We've all spelled it. We're in journalism, you write stuff, you make mistakes. It happens. But this one at this time where there's no pressure on you to like get this press release out, and I'm going to ask you in the next segment, the timeline of all this stuff happening, very confusing to me. Like, maybe I'm reading too much into it, maybe I'm not, but like, you have time, just take your time, make sure everything's right. This is supposed to be a new start, a new regime, fresh start to everything.
Yeah. And
you're starting off with misspelled words in the press release, getting rid of someone who might not have done a good job, but also they know he didn't get, all the opportunities that most GMs get dealing with some higher up. So that's why I'm just like, man, it's frustrating. You're supposed to start fresh.
Yep. Yeah, and I got a take. Like I said, I have a take on the whole Troy Weaver thing. I can't wait to
Let's talk about it next. Let's do it.
Definitely.
Let's do it. Tell them about Premier Pet first before I hear that take about Mr. Troy Weaver, because Trajan Langdon is officially the PBO.
Yeah.
Troy Weaver is officially out as Pistons general manager.
Yeah, and I want to just let Trajan Langdon know, if you have any pets, I can tell you where you can take them to get the best. That is Premier Pet Supply. It is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They have the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. They have over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Give your pet the best at Premier Pet Supply and visit them online, premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
What happens when you're in a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people, and that's exactly what Les Stanford did when they added Les Stanford Buick GMC. They still offer the same great service that their customers have come to know and trust, so go check them out at this new location on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road, or check them out in Dearborn today. Go to lesstanford.com, Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive, and you guys already know where we're driving, right down Woodward Avenue, the historic, the legendary Woodward Avenue, the only major street that has all 4 sports teams right on it, within a block, within walking distance. That is Detroit. Hey, teams, get better soon, please, because it's going to be epic, especially during these times of the year. Yeah. Hey, chat family, thank you guys for choosing to kick off the morning with Wake Up Woodward. We got the Woo crew in the building. Shout out to Final Sam, who will be on Big D Energy today. As always, you guys are the most important part of the show, so please go ahead and smash that like button. And once you have, encourage somebody else to do the same. We really appreciate it.
Yes. So Kool-Aid, it happened.
Yes, sir.
It happened. Trajan Langdon was officially named president of basketball operations for the Pistons.
Yes, sir.
Which came like 18 hours after the release of Troy Weaver as general manager.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess first, before I tee you, I think you sense where I'm going with this, but how do you feel about how everything went down? Good move, bad move? Just get us going with this conversation.
Yeah, this is a move that you can't call it bad by any stretch. It doesn't matter where you lay on the spectrum of Troy Weaver, this organization or whatnot. You had to get some type of new blood into this front office that would represent the centralization of power, so that you have one voice that is able to now go out there and make sure that everybody that he brings in underneath him is operating in harmony and in sync. That's something we haven't seen, or at least has been speculated that hasn't really been taking place over the last few years and the last couple regimes. So now you get the opportunity to be able to have somebody into this front office with all the power, that's what we're hoping, and be able to bring in his own GM. I am more in support of that move, no matter what I do feel or don't feel about Troy Weaver. And as it relates to Troy Weaver, that's a situation where, and I was telling you this too, KG, like, how dare people act as if to give Troy Weaver any benefit of the doubt in this situation when we're hearing rumblings that some signings and deals might not have actually been his and that he might have been taking bullets. How dare people try and say, you know what, you can't take it for Troy, he's awful, he's this, he's that. Look at everybody of success over the last 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 regimes who's come to this organization. And one thing I know is this: Tom Gores hasn't spared the expense there. Good coaches, and good front office personnel. Troy Weaver had a starting record before he got here and a starting reputation. Dwayne Casey, Stan Van Gundy. These are people who have won in this league and accomplished and gotten to higher levels. And when they got here, this organization is one that not even them were able to kind of pull up while working with this kind of structure above them. And so as you're moving forward with the Trajan Langdon, my hope is that you let this guy just cook. Just let him cook. No meddling, only supporting, let him cook and let his vision be what drives everything else forward, because Trajan Langdon, just like Troy Weaver, just like Dwayne Casey, just like SVG, they come to this organization having a reputation that is really, really good. Troy Weaver had the same thing said about him as Trajan Langdon is right now at the beginning. And I'm not going to blame these people more than I'm going to blame the structure that was there before them. Yeah. And still there at the top. So.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And for anything, for his sake, I'm glad he's out of this situation, because like you said, he came in with a sparkling record, and then his time here, it did not work out. And now you look at him, he's tarnished to a degree because of everything that has taken place, which of course wasn't all his fault. But my question is more towards the timing of all this. So they wanted to keep Troy Weaver, because if they were going to fire him, they would have fired him like before or after the exit meetings. But they decided to hold on to him. And then they said the new PBO would have like full autonomy as to what to do with Troy. And then we don't get an official announcement of Trajan Langdon until Troy Weaver is fired. So my question to you is, do you think that Trajan Langdon maybe kind of strong-arm the organization, like, hey, I want to bring in my own personnel. Until you get rid of Troy Weaver, I'm not making this thing official? Because the timing of it all seems weird. Like he posted on Twitter that he was the PBO, and we never got an official announcement. What would you say to that?
Well, one, when you go back to the exit interviews, and you can go back and check the tape, on the first time that anybody really said, yeah, that guy is going to be gone, it was a lot of us that were already in that media room. Why? Because usually at the exit interviews, we get to talk to Troy Weaver. And we told you guys, I say, yo, we're not getting Troy. So that already was a sign on the wall already that there's probably going to be some movement. But number two, he got offered a different role. I think it's a little mix of what you're saying. Okay. It's not necessarily like fire him, get him out the organization. Trajan and Troy, they got a good synergy and a good relationship. They know each other. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, the NBA circle is only so big.
Right.
They offered Troy Weaver a scouting position.
Yeah, and that's where I was headed to next. Is that just like with Dwayne Casey, this is a guy that the organization sees as a plus basketball mind, and they made an offer to try and retain him in the organization so that they can continue to build this army as it relates to former basketball players, former coaches, former people within the fabric of this situation of the NBA. You know, and one of the things as I continued to do my research, I found out was Troy Weaver was one of those guys who actually through his career signed a lot of Aaron Tellum clients.
Really?
Yes. Including and drafted them. Russell Westbrook, Steven Adams. And yeah, so it's an interesting kind of pyramid or triangle that we see going on here. But I hope that that answers a little bit like, do I believe Trajan wanted to be able to enter and say, hey, I need my GM that can operate the way that I state? Yeah, because I think that gives you your most singular voice from decision making to execution, to be able to make things happen and present one vision to Tom Gores rather than multiples, or like with Monty Williams when Tom said at the press conference, there was some yelling, there was some this, there was some that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of stuff. Like you got to eliminate that and just have everything down to one voice that's representing the front office, speaking to the owner to make something happen.
On that note, Kool-Aid, what are the chances? Did we all just assume that because they created this PBO position that they were either going to fire Troy Weaver and hire a new GM? Is there a chance that Trajan Langdon wants to do this all himself? Like, are they going to hire a new GM? And if so, does that need to happen before the draft?
They definitely, I believe, need more front office personnel, because with Troy Weaver going, you're going to have new scouts and new support staff that enter. What those support staffs are, if it's like an actual GM or not, I'm not sure, because one of the things I do like about Trajan Langdon as president of basketball operations is that he's been able to train closely with guys like David Griffin, who has a really, really, really good record around the league and good relationships with people. And he got a feel, in a sense, for what that job actually entails. But he was doing that while he was also a general manager. And his general manager record, his eye for talent, and not just his eye for talent, which we can say Troy has an eye for talent, but his eye for being able to try and put that talent together to try and work. I like the way that he's tried to put the puzzle pieces together. I hope that his draft picks and his selections here are just a little bit more healthy than some of the prior places he's been at.
All right, so I know you may not have much on this, but just seeing the Troy Weaver news, I can't help but wonder, what does this mean for Monty Williams' job security as well? Because, you know, me personally, I kind of chopped it up to, okay, it was his first year, new personnel, young players. He was kind of thrust into a situation that I don't 100% think that he wanted to be here, but he got an offer he couldn't refuse. But going forward, and seeing how things played out, what do you think Monty's job status is at this point? Is he on the hot seat as well?
I'm actually really glad you brought that up, because one of the caveats that we discussed when Monty Williams was hired was this: if your GM didn't hire the coach, but your owner and the front office executives ahead of him did, then that means that Monty Williams actually has more power than your GM, who you gave no president of basketball operations power to. So guess what Troy couldn't do? He could not walk out there on the court and say, play Jaden Ivey, because I am the president of our basketball operations. With the Trajan Langdon, it should be clear as it relates to hierarchy. This is the guy with the power. So what he says goes, which is a little bit different relationship between the coach and the president of basketball operations and just the coach and the GM, whom this coach I didn't hire. This coach I wasn't bringing in. The owner went and brought him in. So whose word is going to ring a little bit more? The guy who they cashed out on, or the guy's GM who they didn't for whatever reason trust to give the PBO job to, the title as well. So when you're looking at a Trajan Langdon, this is a guy that's coming in that actually runs the department, not just tries to identify talent. So if Monty Williams is going to acquiesce to Trajan Langdon, then yes, I believe everything is going to be okay. Everything. But obviously, if this is the coach that's going to move forward, then it's on Trajan Langdon to make sure he goes and helps to field a good team. And that's one of my questions is, what's the strategy? You know, whenever the press comes, what is your strategy moving forward? Is it to kind of build around this young talent that you have? Is it to utilize this young talent to accelerate things? Are you looking to take your time, or is there an urgency to get this thing turned around immediately? And I just can't wait just to kind of pick his brain and be able to see what the strategy is moving forward. And it will tell me a lot more as it relates to Monty Williams.
Yeah, it seems there's a lot that has to happen in a short period of time. At least just putting the NBA draft is like a bumper out there where some things need to be in place. He obviously doesn't need to have his entire staff figured out, but I feel like this is a pretty big moment, especially as a new PBO. Like, does he still trade that number 5 pick? Is he looking to build? And these are the things that you were just talking about. Is he looking to build around this core, or is he looking to ship that number 5 pick out as part of a trade for a veteran, or for a star, or for just something else that this team needs that maybe an 18 to 21-year-old can't provide?
It's going to be interesting to get those answers and kind of see. The most important one to me, or interesting one to me, is do you see this as something you have to fix right away, or are we in store again for another 4 to 5 year rebuild? That's the most interesting question to me right now.
I don't think the fan base can handle another 4 to 5 years. I think it's absolutely a sense of urgency to get this turned around quickly, because
no. Look into the camera and tell them, bro, you could do it in a way that even I can't even do it anymore. Like, look into the camera and you tell them the sense of urgency. Straight up.
Listen, you are losing the fan base day by day by day. You guys absolutely have to have a sense of urgency to turn this thing around, or else you're going to lose the fans. Like you said before, even though the Pistons sucked, they were still at LCA. They were still down there supporting, but that's only going to happen for a matter of time before people just stop showing up. And it would be right on them to do so, because if you're not going to care about this team, why should we? So absolutely, please come in with a sense of urgency to fix this thing. And I guess my last question to you would be, and I know it may be like a redundant question, but who is anybody safe on this roster? Is everybody expendable? Maybe even Cade Cunningham? I wouldn't do it, but is anybody safe in regards to, like, you know, going forward?
Yeah, there are no golden calves, but it would take a golden offer to pry Cade Cunningham for me personally.
Yeah.
I believe he is the type of player that you want to build around. So you can't say with a roster that's been kind of with an organization that's been this down with this young talent, you can't say anybody's untouchable. You can't. But me personally, I wouldn't trade Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
I like the prospects of Cade and Jalen Duren, but there are some other kind of bigs on the market as well. that intrigue me to have a little bit more defensive instinct. But I know that Jalen Duren is still young. So Cade, maybe a Duren. And I love what Asar brings to the table. I like Jaden Ivey a lot. Let me just put that out there. I like him a lot. The logic speaks to the sense that he might be the most viable or likely trade candidate, but I like Jaden Ivey a lot. And so, but Cade is probably the closest to untouchable for me. Everybody else is potentially trade bait.
Before we go to break, have they announced a press conference yet, or is that still
They still
up in the air?
haven't announced
Gotcha.
it.
No, nothing you can do about that. I just like these answers we want. I know a lot of Pistons fans out there. They want them too.
Hey,
So
Wheezy D1313. Trust me. You guys already know me if you've been following the content for 2 years. To me, Cade is an untouchable. But to a new GM coming in, and this is your most valuable asset is Cade Cunningham. Period.
It's a similar conversation to Scooble. It's none of us want
it's
to trade
it's a Scooble
either of those guys. But when we're talking about a team
untouchable.
like needing to make not necessarily a turnaround, but like the Pistons, it would be a turnaround, but a transformation, a shift, speed up a rebuild or a restore. Those are the two guys that bring you the most value. Not that any of us want to trade them.
Right.
They're your best players. They're like our only slivers of hope.
And you talk about people who are doing it on the court and in the community. That's Cade Cunningham. That's his family. Shout out to Cannon. Shout out to Ashton, who have really supported us since we've gotten started as a network, as Woodward Pistons, and the Wake Up Woodward Show. Those are just good people who do a lot of good in the community, and there's no media coverage. I had to go and investigate for a couple of the articles that I did. I was like, bro, first, why is it so difficult to just pull this information out of you directly? Because they're humble people. And two, why is there no media coverage? Because that's just how they liked it. That I love. There's no press release. There's none of that type of stuff. And then you're on the court and you're hooping? Heck yes. That is untouchable for me.
Yeah.
But to Trajan Langdon, it's going to be a situation where if somebody offers freaking 3 or 4 first-round picks and a couple rotation players, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it gets tough.
Yeah, you'd be crazy to pass that up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nobody, but you got to give me like a platinum.
It's got to be
offer.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be an unfair deal. Like Detroit
Walker
has won for the next 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah.
You just need to do something that brings the fans back in, like KG said, because you've already unfortunately seen it with the Tigers. The Tigers used to sell out regular season games all the time when I was growing up, and now I can't tell you the last time I saw it more than 2/3 capacity.
I feel bad. I feel bad for your generation. I just do, man. Like the hypest nights have been like jersey retirements.
Yeah. I grew up and I saw the back end of every team being good pretty much. And then it's just gone into the gutter.
I don't even know if that's worse or not. Like, I feel like that might be worse. Like,
it might be.
You saw a little bit of the glory.
They tantalized me. They were like, here, we're in the World Series against the Giants. Oh, we're in the Stanley Cup final against the Penguins. Because I wasn't old enough to remember the 08, but I remember 09. And just blue balls, and it's just brutal out here.
Yeah, it is, man.
But hey, listen, appreciate that you got that perspective though. It's nice knowing like I have a connection to something great. I kind of had the same thing with the Bad Boys. Yeah. So hey, cherish those moments, and we get to see the revitalization of our teams as a crew now, man.
Yes. Speaking of,
yes, sir.
There's some revitalization going down in Allen Park this week. Tomorrow starts mandatory minicamp.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
For the Lions squad. It's one Pride Month, right?
Yes, sir.
So the Lions are about to do some work down there. Got some clips we didn't get to see last week, but I think they're going to lead into some great conversation about the coaches and about some offensive players that we're going to be talking about this week. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at Dispo, because you can visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals that are too good to miss. You meet a team over there that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. They got the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products, so come through their stores or order on Dispo today. That's Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get it all for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's over 50 Planet Fitnesses in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world, so go check them out. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Man, I am hyped up, man. Football now. Now. Lions versus Rams tonight. I need it now.
Give me it, please.
Right now.
Do you know how many days we are till 95 or something? 96?
Yeah.
We're coming in.
We
Inject that shit in my veins, baby.
Barrier. Oh my gosh. Yo, I can't wait. I know you got some videos of the Detroit Lions, man. I can't wait. Last week, the media session segment was one of my favorite segments we did all week. Chat family, thank you guys for supporting the Wake Up Woodward crew, the Woo crew. Thank you guys for also being the most important part of this platform. Let's smash that like button. Let's get through our like goal today. And once you've hit the like button, I'm sorry. Satisfy that like button. Satisfy it. And once you've done so, encourage somebody else to do the same.
And have a post cigarette afterwards.
Oh man, let's rock.
Let's rock. So on Friday, we spent a lot of time talking about Ben Johnson, and he keeps coming back to Detroit. And his entire press conference, with the exception of one question, was all about his return, why he wanted to come back, what he's motivated, what he wants to accomplish. What I take from that, and what I take from all these interviews, the Lions, their coaching staff, their players, their front office, their owner, like complacency is a word that's not in any of their vocabularies. Like they are not resting on their laurels. They're not taking it easy after a successful 2023 season. They came out of the gates firing after the end of that 2022 season, and they're ready to go. And that starts with Dan Campbell. We could say it starts higher up or whatnot, but Dan Campbell's one of those guys. He's not ready, or he's not one of those to just sit back and relax and just let that success carry them. He's always looking to learn more. There's a clip that he talked about in his press conference, not just talking about why Ben Johnson was coming back, but also the tips, the things that he learns from other college coaches, high school coaches, just football minds that are in that building for whatever reason. Dan Campbell and that staff, they take things from them. There's always something new to learn. And this is what Dan Campbell had to say about that.
I mean, you'd have to ask him that. What does he think? If you're asking me, I don't think you ever stop growing in any position you're in. Whether you're a coordinator, you're a head coach, you're a position coach, I mean, you learn something. I feel like you learn something new, especially if you're looking for it. If you're always looking to grow and what's the next thing. And I mean, we have college coaches that come in, you know, that want to, man, they want to be here to see how kind of we work, what we're doing and all that. And I mean, we as a staff will pick their brains on some things. I mean, you never know what you're going to pick up. I mean, there's some good coaches out there everywhere. And so it could be one nugget. They think they're getting something from us and we're getting something from them. So I just think as long as you're always looking to grow, there's plenty that you can always, and believe me, he's had a ton of growth over these 3 years, 2.5 years. But there's always room for all of us.
That is what I want to hear from my head coach.
I'm right.
That's that big chain energy. Dan Campbell.
No matter what, you make it to the NFC Championship game, you'll still take some tips from a college coach. Football is a complicated game. There's always something to learn.
Yep.
That's what I want Dan Campbell to say, and he said it.
Yeah, because we're all looking forward to seeing if Dan Campbell, what he's learned over the previous year that can help put this Detroit Lions team in even better position to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
I know KG talks about it all the time. He wants to see Dan Campbell learn from his mistakes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know if it's aggression. We don't know if it's a mistake. We don't know if it's because he's trying to overcompensate for the personnel or the lack thereof. But to hear him say, look, effectively, I'm a student, I'm always learning, that means that the ceiling of this team and what they can be and the longevity of it can continue to go up and up and up and up. And I'm excited about that.
Yes, student of the game. That's what I want my coaches. That's what, if you asked me, the first time you ever asked me, why will Chris Fetter be successful as a pitching coach for the Tigers?
Yep.
He's a student of the game. He has always been since he was a pitcher at Michigan, and he continues to do that, honing his craft as a coach, as a mechanics expert. All the things you need to do to be successful at the highest level, you have to be a student of the game. To know that Dan Campbell is that, and we all know, we don't buy into the meathead a narrative that the media started. Never did. He said some things. To me, he just said dude stuff.
Yeah.
But he's a very smart man. And when you're very smart and still willing to learn from the mistakes that you guys were talking about, that's everything. That means everything to me.
Yep.
And that also includes making personnel decisions on your coaching staff,
Yep.
which he's proven, I think, each season that he's been able to move on from guys that he's brought in, from friends of his, from respected football minds, which is why he brought them in the first place. He understands when a change needs to be made, he'll make it. And this clip from Broderick Martin talking about his new defensive line coach, Terrell Williams, to me, speaks to that too. We saw Aubrey Pleasant, moved on from Aubrey Pleasant, John Scott Jr., Dre Bly. They now brought in what Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn think of as the best defensive line coach in the league. He'll be a future head coach or a future DC here very soon. But this is what we want in terms of coaching. You want the best coaches to bring out the best in players like Broderick Martin. This is what Broderick had to say about Terrell Williams.
I think he brings a straight dog to the D-line. Yeah, he a great coach. You know, he's been in the league for umpteen years, and he done coached a lot of players. You know, great players. You know, so he really bring that dog to this room. And he's been a good coach for me because he understands. He's coached guys like me. He understands what I need and what I need to do, and so he's really helping me out a lot.
You know what I'm really impressed with?
What?
Honestly, the trust that this coaching staff has, because these aren't just kind of no names. These are people on Dan Campbell's coaching staff that carry voices, that carry influence, and you have to have everybody in sync, or you can start to have, when we look at some of these other organizations where you see coaches are let go, there's been, coach didn't necessarily get along with the head coach or positional coach. Terrell Williams isn't a guy who's just coming over here as not the best defensive line coach in the league. This is the best defensive line coach in the league. There are people who are looking up to him, and to know that this coaching staff is one that's putting egos aside for the betterment of the team, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And the only reason he was available is because Mike Vrabel got fired because of those coaching turnovers, not because he was fired, because he was made available. And you see a guy like Broderick talk about him. Also, shout out Doc Macaroon. I think that was his question, but Doc had some great questions in that interview. That's what you want to see. Of course, Matthew Kruger, Broderick's only going to say good things, but if it wasn't genuine, he wouldn't go into that detail. He wouldn't give you the emotion. When you talk about someone, the feeling of a dog, like that's a feeling you're talking about when you're talking about meeting someone new, a new coach bringing something out of you. It's not X's and O's. It's not technique. It's man, this coach makes me feel like I can be the best player that I can. He's coached players like me. I think he went on to say Tier Tart is someone, while they don't have the exact same game, that's someone from a technique standpoint you want to watch that he coached in Tennessee. So there's so many levels to this, so many things how he can help not just a Broderick Martin, but an Aiden Hutchinson, but a DJ Reader as one of those vets that they can lead on. In that interview, Broderick Martin was talking about DJ Reader. He actually didn't know who DJ Reader was or wasn't familiar with him before his press conference, where Reader was like, actually, this might have been more recent, where they met in the locker room, and Reader was like, yeah, I've watched all the film on you. Like he is preparing to help Broderick Martin as he's preparing to help this Lions defensive line. That's cold.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And even more to Matthew Kruger's point, you know what? With the Lions, I can understand it. When we just sit around and we say, you know what are they going to say? They're always going to say nice things. But when you look at organizations that do it the right way, like the old Patriots, and when you're looking at Patty Mack and the Kansas City Chiefs, when they say things like this, we're like, that's the way that an organization is supposed to be. And it's because of the success they've had. Well, this Detroit Lions team isn't talking this way just to try and sell tickets or to get butts and seats. It's because of the confidence that they have, the success that they've had, and they do firmly believe in what they're stating. I don't think that they're just trying to sell us a quotable or clip. I believe this organization is just different now. This is an organization that's operating like we see a KC, a San Francisco 49ers, a Philadelphia Eagles, and I think for a lot of us, it's a little weird to see our squad operating like that, that sometimes maybe we second guess a little bit of what they're saying or the authenticity.
This is part of that floor raising. Improve coaches, improve vets. Sam Laporta, and Sam Laporta's an honest, like, I don't take any of what these guys saying as lying. Like, they are honest, and especially Sam Laporta, what he says, there's something about it that has a little extra punch. So when he's talking about leaning on certain vets and the names he throws around out there, that's a real thing. That's the difference between this team of 2024 than of the teams when Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker were drafted in 2016, 2017. They're now the vets who have been through that and have now been to an NFC championship game. Sam Laporta gets to lean on that. Listen to this clip about what Sam Laporta says about leaning on his vets.
I think it's more, I wouldn't say it's comfortable because I know what it takes to compete and really thrive at this level, but I've been there, I've done it, I know what it takes, and we got guys around the building that I can really lean on that have had success in the past. You know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, hey, how'd you bounce back after a great year after year after year? Jared, Sewell, Deck, Frank, go down the list. I have a lot of resources in the organization that I can ask those type of questions to.
Do you know why they focus so much on drafting just football guys, football players? They eat, sleep, and breathe football. Yeah. Because they're the ones that are going to ask the questions to the vets. Before you go off to the season, hey, how do I transform my body to come back? Maybe that's Broderick Martin talking to Aleem McNeil. Or Sam Laporta talking to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, how do I have continued success? Those guys will ask, Jack Campbell, Anzalone, those guys will ask those questions. They're not worried about leaving the facilities and going and doing something else. Not that you can't do other things when you leave a football facility, but that's all he cares about, how he can have another season like he did last year.
So what you mean to tell me then is how you started this segment with Dan Campbell being a student in the game is exactly the imprint that we see over all of his players. There is no plateau.
Weird,
it's only getting better.
Weird how you picked up on that. Smart. There's a rhyme and a reason for all this, and you can see it. Like that is the picture I'm trying to paint. It starts with Dan Campbell, but it just starts to spread like a virus throughout that entire organization. That's what makes this team special. Not every NFL team like that is like that. Not every professional sports team is like that. There's too much money. There's too many players. There's too many egos. This is the most slappy thing I'll say. It almost feels like it's the perfect roster and perfect organization. I know that probably comes from the dysfunction that we've experienced over the last 30 years. But man, the energy down in Allen Park, the energy surrounding this team here in Detroit, that's the national media. The energy here, the criticism. There's criticism because of the energy, because we want this team to be the best, which is why we're not willing to just, the wide receiver room is set. Like it actually, I think it is, and I'm cool with it. But like, we just always want more. Yeah, we want it to be perfect.
We want more. But the thing that has continued to have me be like, you know what? All right, there's a way that we want things, and then there's a way that they do things. We all thought and we all wanted more at last year's trade deadline.
Yeah.
We believe that because they didn't do more at last year's trade deadline, that we'd be probably one home game win, and that's it. We would lose the next one. That's our playoffs. Instead, they went further than we believed, and they had clearly enough to get to that point. And realistically, you know what? Personnel aside, they had everything they needed to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. And you know who knew that?
Who?
Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and that team. So if they are saying this stuff, I give them more the benefit of the doubt. I'm not looking at anything they're saying as, it's just a little bit of hubbub. It's just smoke. It's just, no, I believe what they're saying. This is a masterclass organization. And they, in my opinion, like we've talked about before, are creating what we see other organizations now trying to get a little bit of taste of, man. And it's the Lions way.
And Kool-Aid, they're saying it with their pocketbooks too. Not just with your stars, but with certain role players, one of which that Sam Laporta talked on in that same interview that we're going to review when we get back from break. But Kool-Aid, can you tell people about the shows coming up on Woodward Sports the rest of the day? Because Neil's back.
Neil's back.
Yes.
I know Neil's got some stuff to say to Flannel.
It's going to be spicy,
Coming
Neil.
back
Oh, he's got stuff to say to me.
Well, that's coming too, Mr. My Dallas Stars.
Right. Jamie Ben Stan.
Hey, you know what? As always, people, thank you guys for choosing to support and start off your day with the Wake Up Woodward crew. It means the world to us, man. We rush to the studio, we get up on these desks, and we do this show to be able to interact and try and entertain and inform you all. And the support that you guys give us, it means the world. Keep tapping in with Wake Up Woodward every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And after us, you guys better stay checked in with the rest of the Woodward Sports Network. Big D Energy from 11 to 1, hosted by four-time Stanley Cup champion winner, Guardian of Detroit. That is Darren McCarty alongside his co-host, Spicy Neil Rule, the Golden Voice, who's back in the building. Hey, don't miss it. Don't miss it. He's back in his flannel on the desk. So you guys already know it's going to be electric. After that, Armani and Edwards with Maz, 2 to 4. The lovable radio legend Tom Mazway with University of Michigan legend and former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards and Detroit media king Ryan Armani. After that, end off your day with Woodward Heavyweights, 5 to 7. The big fellas, spin more racks, and easy. Shout out to my brothers. Hey, shout out as well to Chris Platty and Nick Koloff. They got a pretty elite booth too. Even though you know I like that Wake Up Woodward. But the heavyweights are bringing you the biggest interviews, the biggest breakdowns, the biggest laughs. Stay tapped in with Woodward Heavyweights on the Woodward Sports Network, and thank you for making us your #1 digital sports network.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll now has diamonds in it, everyone.
Glorious.
Look, they are constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience just for you. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers from only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check them out at your local retailer, or always check them out online at gloriouscanna.com.
Let's go. Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your day with the Woo Crew. Actually kicking off your week, man. It's a new business week. Hopefully you guys are having a happy Monday. We are, so thank you guys to the chat family. Help us reach that like goal, smash and satisfy that like button. And once you've done so, pass it along to somebody else to do so too. And you know what, man? The chat family.
Run a train on that like button.
Yeah. You know what? The chat family, man, I think they're on to why Broder cut the stash. All right?
Oh boy, why?
Steve DeYoung. So that's why Broder's clean shaven, for the like buttons needs. Now that is a solid host.
Yeah. Whatever you desire, I'll make happen. Seriously, if it's needed, I'll do it.
Yep, so that's it. The stash has been gone because he's been dating the like button on our behalf.
Yeah.
Shout out to Broder.
Hey.
Good man.
Paul Skeens, I'll be back. This
Oh,
facial
man.
hair, it'll be back.
Yeah.
Just like Brock Wright is back.
Look at you,
He's
Mr.
back.
Transition king.
Brock Wright, not like in a, respectfully, not the most exciting name. You know, it's not, you're not going out and getting some superstar wide receiver, or you're not bringing, you know, you didn't a trade Brock Wright for George Kittle on the 49ers, but Brock Wright did sign with the 49ers. And the Lions were like,
They matched it.
You're too important to us.
It was a nice little penny, too, they spent.
Yeah, it was a nice little penny. Like it is a commitment to go get to him because of what he can do, not just in their offense, not just in that locker room, but for Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta had some comments about Brock Wright before Dan Campbell also doubled down. But this is another vet that Sam Laporta is able to lean on. Check this out. Check out this clip from Sam Laporta's press conference.
Brock is a guy that I relied on heavily this past season and going to continue to rely on him in the future. And gosh, just happy that the organization didn't let a guy like that slip. I call him the glue guy in our room. He's basically like a second coach behind Coach Hyde, and he's a coach out on the field.
Like that's an all-pro as a rookie.
Yeah.
That's wild to hear still.
Right. And Brock Wright was crucial to his season last year, helping him get ready, helping him perform the way he did. What'd you just say in break, KG?
I said Sam Laporta just looks like a star, don't he? He oozes that charisma, man. He just looked like somebody that's going to be a top-tier tight end for a long time.
He looks unbothered. Just absolutely unbothered. And who can stop him?
Yeah.
Like, who can blame him?
Almost like a veteran. He's only been in the league 1 year. Seemed like he's been in like 10.
Yeah.
That's professional all the way, through and through.
That's the type of guys that they're bringing in. We see the videos from their combine meetings. I think that's where they met with Sam Laporta. I can't remember if they had a top 30 or whatnot, but you see just how these guys answer football questions, answer personal questions. There's a certain personality that they prefer in that locker room. Sam Laporta is one of them. Brock Wright is one of them. You wonder why they went out and why a number 2 tight end is so important to this team. Dan Campbell told you in this press conference why they went out and got him. This is what Dan Campbell had to say.
Yeah, well, it helps because, Brock, here we go, man. He's another one of these guys that we have a lot of trust in Brock. I mean, his professionalism, man, he's smart, he's tough, he's got versatility as a blocker, he's got speed down the middle of the field, and so, to your point, he allows us to do things personnel-wise with Laporta in the game. He does a lot of the dirty work, and he's kind of one of those unsung heroes, and you got to have him. You got to have a guy like him. So it was big for us to be able to get him back, and he does. He brings more versatility to the offense. He allows you to be able to play in 12 personnel and do some of those things because of not only his mental, but his ability to block and really stretch the field.
Sam, Flannel, I know you're out there. I don't think you're here yet, but you're probably listening.
He said he always watching, so.
He's always watching. This is, and I poking a little fun at Flannel. Role players are important.
Absolutely.
Nothing about what he just said is he needs to catch 4, 5, 6 catches a game. It was about all the different things that he brings to the table to help them, to help that offense run, to help Laporta become an all-pro, to help Amon-Ra become an all-pro. Like, what he does, his versatility, his blocking, his brain, his speed up the middle. that catch, one of my favorite throws and catches of last season was that touchdown pass from Goff to Brock Wright in the Chargers game.
Yeah.
Where he just floated it right over the safety's head. Perfect catch. The one against the Jets the year before, Brock Wright took off for, was it 75 yards, 60, 75? It's special. And Dan Campbell and this team realized it enough where, I know it's broken down differently over the course of the contract, but a $12 million contract for a tight end who has maybe 50 catches in his career, there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
And more to your point, if he did have to go catch 4 or 5 balls, he could probably do it.
He could.
He's led by example the whole time he's been here. He's shown it with his play, not just what he can do in the pass game, but what he does in the run game to help open up some of these running backs, man. He is a very valuable backup piece to have. And if, God forbid, anything happened to Laporta, I feel like we're in safe hands with Brock Wright. We've seen it. We've seen him come through in crucial situations. So I'm happy to have him, man. And I know they paid a nice little penny for him, but I don't mind, man. If he's contributing to winning, why not?
One of the biggest plays that we don't talk about from that 49ers game, no shade to you, Anthony Ferksker, but the stepping out on the 2-yard line near the end of the game, I forget the exact situation, but Ferksker, tight end, leaking out to the left side. Brock Wright scoring. Shane Zylstra scoring. James Mitchell scoring. Unfortunately, Ferksker wasn't. But if Brock Wright was in that game, if he was healthy,
absolutely,
he's scoring. He's scoring. And that's the difference, that having a player ready for the moment, having a player as athletic as Brock Wright, the things that he does. Again, no offense to Ferksker, but Brock Wright's scoring on that play, and the Lions are in the Super Bowl.
You know what? They're going to get it done, though.
They are.
They're going to get it done. They're making all of the right moves. They have the right people at the helm. It's cool to know that they're getting guys that have this versatility. I like it. I really do. And with Brock Wright, I feel like it gives the Detroit Lions the opportunity, even if they want to go fewer pass catchers, but still be able to lean on Sam Laporta, lean on Amon-Ra St. Brown, and give Goff max protection. Hey, take your chances, defense.
Yeah. How many times this offseason have we already talked about who's going to get the Josh Reynolds target?
Yeah.
It's going to be spread around, and we're going to play some offensive clips tomorrow. But adding pieces like Brock Wright, that doesn't take away.
Johnson has a treasure trove right now.
Treasure trove. It doesn't take away from J-Mo targets.
Yeah.
Antoine Green targets.
Mm-hmm.
Khalif Raymond. We'll see where those targets get spread. Brock Wright's not commanding too many of them. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But Kool-Aid, before we come back and we talk Tigers, a 2-2 split this weekend against the Red Sox. Torque's going down. Justin Henry Malloy's coming up. There's some great questions that have been in the chat we got to get to. Can you tell them about Lady James?
I can. Hey, listen, as awesome as this Detroit Lions content has been, I can tell you about something else just as awesome. It's when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut, and that's Lady James Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady James' talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. I know here in just a little bit, during Justin's segment, you will be able to see some of these talented hairstylists, so definitely keep your eyes peeled. But stop in, let them make you look great and feel great. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, walking anytime, 7 days a week. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also offer 24/7 professional monitoring, so you can call us anytime and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because it's technology that's backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. And welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Chat family, as always, we appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the morning with the crew. Go ahead and just satisfy that, lay it down smooth, that like button, people.
Treat her well.
Treat her well, man. Treat her well. And she'll treat you well right back, man. It's a circle of life.
It is.
It is.
It is. Do you know how versatile Darren McCarty is?
Very,
like, what
very
more
versatile.
can that man do?
I swear.
He's a 4-time Stanley Cup champion, author, comic book creator. Maybe
Wrestler.
there's a more formal name for that. Wrestler. He's also a comedian. You guys know he does stand-up?
I did not.
Man.
Check this out. Tonight, D-Mac out in Plymouth. Darren McCarty, the
Snazzy.
gloves are off.
Snazzy.
At Sidecar Slider Bar out in Plymouth tonight. Darren McCarty's performing stand-up. This is Monday, June 3rd. Today, 7:30 to 9:30 tonight. $55 tickets in advance are at the door. Special guest comedian Martin Butler. Go check out D-Mac tonight out in Plymouth. If you guys aren't doing anything,
Sidecar.
go check him out.
Yeah.
Get a slider while you're at it.
Hey, that's dope, man. I might actually stop by, man.
Yeah.
One of my homies is help bring a sidecar there, man. It was
Let's
dope.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Do
Hey,
it.
That's dope.
Slider. Slider is something. A slider in the strike zone is something Justin Henry Malloy is going to have to hit at the big league level.
Look at you.
He's going to get a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Strikes in the off-speed, curveballs, sliders, pitches with movements in the strike zone. That's Justin Henry Malloy's weak spot.
Yeah.
But he's been tearing up the minor leagues. It was time for him to get moved up, time for Torque to get sent down, so they both can work on things in a different environment. We get to see a little bit of the future here with JHM coming up to the major league level. I don't know if he's going to be starting tonight. I don't know where he's going to be playing. Very likely an outfield position at some point this week against the Texas Rangers. But the Tigers, after a 2-2 weekend against the Red Sox, look good on Thursday.
Got whooped Friday and Saturday.
Whooped Friday and Saturday. Literally two games that like ended up kind of close, but they weren't games at all. Like it was over after the first inning, and then it was about to happen again. It was as ugly of a start yesterday against the Red Sox, and they got the best. The Red Sox got their best pitching performance out of Bello. They ended up coming back to win 8-4.
Yeah.
Baseball's this crazy game. Spencer Torkelson, though, he got benched for 2 of them. The writing's around the wall. Last 4 games he's played, he's 0-16, I believe.
Oh, my God.
There we go. 0-16, 0 walks, 9 strikeouts in last 4 games.
That's
last
horrible.
10 games, he has been 3 of 37. That's a .081 batting average. 3 walks and 13 Ks. All of that combined with you're not hitting the ball, you're striking out, you're not walking, which means you're all over the place.
Absolutely no sign of improvement.
You're in your head, your mechanics, all of it. What's up,
And to be honest, he's not the best defensively. Like he plays okay defensively, but lately it hasn't been great. So
I believe I have that stat too. He's a -5 in defensive runs saved at first base. So he's not a good defender. It's not like you can keep him up and be patient with him. Be more patient with him figuring this out because he's a special defender. Like he's plus at that position.
When you getting 4 at-bats a pop, you can't go 0 for 4 every time.
You can't.
Let me add a stat in this
Not every
mix.
time.
So Torkelson is hitting .106 on fastballs from right-handed pitchers that are registering at 93 miles per hour or better compared to the league average of 243.
Jesus.
You just cannot do that and not be able to hit fastballs.
Yeah.
And be a major league hitter. He needs to go down and figure it out.
And we've seen him pop those boys up. We've seen him stare at the damn fastball coming through the zone. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, like to your point, Justin, he could not hit the fastball, and I think that's been probably his biggest weakness the whole time.
Definitely. And whether it's his biggest weakness or not, if it's a weakness, then you're completely exposed. Like most major league hitters are better hitting the fastball than some of these nasty off-speed pitches that major league pitchers are throwing at him. So when you're supposed to be the 4-hitter, 3, 4, 5 hitter in the middle of the lineup, you're expected to jump all over fastball mistakes. Someone hangs or someone leaves a 93 to 97 mile an hour fastball over the middle of the plate. You need to put the force into that, hit it out or hit it hard every time. That's not happening. When he's swinging through those, when he's popping those up, you just got to start something over mechanically, mentally. He just got to go get in a new environment. Like you talked about Parker Meadows. Yeah. The mentality you saw him play, he just looked free out there. He looked comfortable, like he was playing baseball. We need that out of Torkelson. Yeah. That's what we've seen.
No shaky at bats, no shaky swings, no shaky half. It's just he's just up there. He looks like he's in the zone. And I'm hoping for Spencer Torkelson that I wonder how much the thought of getting benched or the thought of having to go down to the minors played on his mind when he's in those batter's boxes. Whether it's right or wrong, we obviously know we want him to be up there and be free of mind. But the situation is what it is. The season got off to a bad start. It's reminding us more of what he probably was in the past and a lot less of what we thought he could do in the future. Now I'm hoping that going down to the minors, he's just able to focus on baseball and nothing else. No narratives, no getting sent downs, no getting benched. Just focus on baseball.
Yeah, and shout out to Randall Smalls in the chat. He's cool, people. I don't necessarily agree with this take, though. He said Torque's problem is he has no one hitting behind him, and he's pressing too much. What would you say to that, brother?
It's both. I mean, there's no protection when he's hitting anyway, so pitchers can throw whatever they want. When if you're batting 7th, you got Javi Baez hitting after you, or Jake Rogers, Carson Kelly.
I don't think that's a great excuse, though. Like, he should be hitting just period.
Yeah, it's not the only excuse. It's part of it, but you need to be good enough. Even if you're hitting 6th, 5th, or 6th, like for those exact reasons, you need to be able to hit the fastball. Like it's one thing if you can't hit a curveball, which you should now. You should be able to. But if you're not hitting the fastball and you have no protection, so they're not afraid to go after you instead of pitch around you to then get Javi Baez out, you got 3 guaranteed outs at the end of the batting order. That can't happen.
Yeah, like there's a difference between being slightly below average or having your averages brought down because of what's not behind you. This is not one of those situations. Like with the stat that even Justin just read off, this guy is woefully failing right now. Yeah, this is a lot more than just who might be behind him in the pecking order batting wise.
Yeah, we might be having more conversations this week with the B word involved, like first overall pick. Is he a bust? Made Torque out there with like Nick Cannon. Hitting with no protection.
I was laughing.
Oh, Mitten May.
Lots of babies. Lots
perfect.
But Nick Cannon's hilarious.
He's hilarious,
Dad. Let's talk about Justin Henry Malloy, but I know Charles McClain has been asking in the chat, why is it harder to develop hitting than pitching? It takes longer to develop hitting and pitching. Yeah. And you need to develop hitting through an organization from someone you drafted to the big leagues. It requires a certain philosophy, a certain approach, continuity from the moment you're drafted. What do you need out of this kid? What are you training him from the time he's in single A to the bigs to be prepared for? He was drafted in the 2020 draft, the COVID draft. So he was a consensus number 1 overall pick.
Absolutely.
I think every team in the big would have selected him, which is why it does point to development. Tigers got him in here. They haven't been able to figure him out. He's had 2 different groups of hitting coaches. This new hitting coach, Michael Bedard, former Michigan Wolverine, go blue, plus his 2 other assistant hitting coaches. They came in 2 years ago, or this is their 2nd full year. So they're putting their own new philosophy throughout the minor leagues, starting with single A. We see Max Clark and we see Kevin McGonigal tear up single A. They're about to get elevated to high A. This is why it takes time. I don't know where the miss was with Torque, where the hole in his development was. He very well could have been brought up too soon. Like Al Avila on the hot seat in 2022. We all did it. We're calling for Torque. We got to see Torque up at the major league level. This team blows. Like might as well. It's everything we're saying now, but a 10 times worse team. And Al Avila as a GM. We don't know what he missed in his development. Pitching, while it's not easy to develop it, I'm not taking anything away from what Chris Fetter is doing. Sometimes if you have the stuff, it gets you to the highest level faster. That doesn't mean you're going to be successful. You got to learn how to throw more than 2 pitches. You got to learn how to throw 3 pitches for strikes. You got to learn how to have secondary, tertiary pitch sequences. You can't just throw 100 and have 1 slider.
Yeah.
You'll have success till you get to AAA, and then major league hitters will start to adjust to you. But what Justin Henry Malloy has done, acquired by Scott Harris via trade in 2022, in Scott Harris's first offseason on the job, went and plucked him from the Atlanta Braves organization. It was a trade, I think, for Joe Jimenez, relief pitcher through Heat for the Tigers. Went and got Justin Henry Malloy because of his plate discipline, because of his approach. He's elite at drawing walks. He led the entire minor leagues in walks last year in 2023 with, I believe it was 110 walks. Led all minor leagues, while his 23 home runs and 83 RBIs last year led all the Mud Hens. The one problem with him, he draws walks at such an elite level. Sometimes that passive approach leads to strikeouts.
Yep.
He needs to find a way to mesh some aggression into that patience. What were you going to say?
No, I was saying balance it out, but I totally agree, man. And that's what I was going to ask you. What can he bring in terms of his game to the big league level? Like you said, he's been very patient. We've seen him do good in spring and things of that nature. Now he's getting the big call up. What do you expect him, or how do you expect him to translate to the MLB level?
I think he can come and bring a spark to this offense. We've seen before rookies have an impact when they first get called up. Now, the key to his career is learning when these pitchers make an adjustment to him, whether that's in a week or 2 or in a month, or depending on how long Torkelson is down, we don't know that whole plan. The pitchers will adjust to him, but you can come in leading up to the All-Star break and provide a spark to this offense, kind of like Wenzel Perez. And Perez has shown he's starting to make his adjustments to the pitcher's adjustments and finding himself in the middle of the batting order every single game. Not to say that's Justin Henry Malloy's trajectory, and they're different players, but with his discipline at the plate, with that approach, even being a little cautious, I think that's okay at the major league level to start off. He'll have to learn how to hit with 2 strikes and put the ball in play, but the question marks with him have never been on the offensive end, so I hope he can come and contribute early. Just provide a spark in the middle of that order. I know it's completely different, but I'm thinking the spark that Quentin Berry made when he got called up. It was late in the season, and I even forget which year, but it wasn't even that he was a good hitter, but when he got on the base paths, he was stealing bases. He was a madman in the outfield. There's just something that can uplift this team. And to me, man, this team's so close.
They are.
Like, they're frustratingly awful some games. Their offense is like horrendous some games. But again, they're 4 games out of the wild card. They're 10 games out of the AL Central. But it's not over. And this is the time leading up to the trade deadline, the All-Star break. This is the time we want to see some juice out of this team. We want to know, hey, maybe they'll know in this next month, is Justin Henry Malloy one of those core pieces to build this foundation? Or is he one, whether he's playing good or not, is he one to include in a trade at the deadline? I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But we don't know yet. They're going to get a good look at him. Hopefully it's more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I could see, and I feel like someone's asked the question in the chat, I could see them sending Torque down for a month or 2. Is that what you were going to ask?
Yeah, I was going to ask, how long do you think Torque stays down?
I think it could be a month. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Because
I expect him to come back up fairly quickly, especially if he begins to perform at the plate.
And I think a month is fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2 months. But you want to see him not only make his adjustments, but get used to that. Make that, get his muscle memory back intact. Get him so he's made the adjustments, he's had success, and then he's had a couple weeks of doing that consistently.
Yeah.
So then when he comes up, he's not, oh man, okay, I'm back to the big league level. They're going to, you're thinking like you used to think. Let him just stay down there, clear his mind, and feel the bat hit the ball. Feel like a basketball player. When you can't shoot, when you're struggling shooting, get to the free throw line. You just want to feel the ball go through the net. The things that does to your mental, incredible.
Yeah, preaching, bro.
Preaching.
We'll
talk more about Justin Henry Malloy. Hopefully we see him tonight. I know we spent a lot of time on Torque. But you should be excited.
Who's playing first? You said he would be in the outfield. Who you think's playing first?
I think it's going to be a mix of Urshela.
Okay.
Who actually made some sensational plays over
He's
there.
been balling since he came back, man.
Yeah, we're never worried about his glove. Mark Canna might be playing over there.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're going to talk some injury question marks. Hopefully Canna. Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah.
Got some injuries to deal with. Also, Andy Ibanez will get some looks over at first.
The lefty killer, man.
Lefty killer.
Love Andy.
They're good over there. It's about when and where they're going to play him in the outfield.
Okay.
Big NFL breaking news right now.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Justin. Go
I
ahead.
haven't seen anything.
Oh,
the camera on
What is it?
What is it to us?
Go ahead, Justin.
All right. The Vikings superstar Justin Jefferson has agreed to a 4-year, $140 million contract extension.
Wow. 4-year, 140.
Damn.
So that's 30, 69.
35.
35.
35 mil a year for 4 years.
We called it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was going to hit the 4s.
I thought it was too. He turned down 33 already, and he only got $2 million more. So I mean, yeah.
And keep in mind, 110 million is guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what I was about to throw in there.
And St. Brown had just set the record. Who signed after St. Brown?
Nico Collins.
Someone signed.
Someone else said it was
AJ
less. It was less. It was like for $27 million.
Was it AJ Brown?
Was it AJ?
I think.
Well, the guaranteed money. Amon-Ra sent the record with 77 mil guaranteed. Didn't someone sign for 81? Was it AJ Brown?
No. Are you thinking about Jalen Waddle? Maybe?
No.
I'll look up AJ Brown right now.
Yeah.
No, I think it was Waddle. I think
Everyone's
you're right.
saying
KJ.
Waddle.
It was
Yeah,
Waddle.
I'm pretty sure it was Waddle.
Did Waddle get 81 guaranteed?
I think so. You have to look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
got
Waddle,
it.
though.
Shout out to Greg Alspa as well. We see the $9.99 super
I
chat.
actually thought it was
We
84.
appreciate you. Definitely.
Could be
Thank
wrong.
you for that.
Crazy.
3 years,
It's crazy
$84 million.
Yep, 84.
Crazy.
76 guaranteed.
Which is 1 million under St. Brown. I'm going to check during break.
Uh-huh.
That's big news. Justin Jefferson, 4-year deal, 4-year extension, 35 mil a year. 4 years, 140 mil.
That's huge.
You think he playing out that whole contract? I doubt it.
huge.
No,
I doubt
definitely
it.
not.
I highly doubt it.
Over under, he's gonna be talking to St. Brown after the next Lions game. Like, bro, come get me.
Right, come get me.
Come get me.
Not with those numbers, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Lions got to see JJ for the next 5 years? Or
4 years.
It starts
allegedly.
now? Starts.
I say
Yeah.
he plays maybe a year and a half, 2, and then he's out of there. But we'll see.
But you got to lock down a Justin Jefferson for your rookie quarterback. You had to do that.
Yeah.
You had to. But that's a lot of guapo.
That's a lot
is.
of money, man.
Sheesh.
I'm happy.
That's so much money.
I'm
Brad
happy.
Holmes
Best
completely
thing-
reset the market.
It feels weird saying that about the game's best wide receiver, like which he is. Do we all
Yeah,
agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love me some Neil. Neil's the man. Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league. But I'm glad that the Vikings paid him versus trading him and speeding up their Vikings rebuild. Because they got some. This is that many less weapons that you put around J.J. McCarthy.
It's going to handicap him.
It's going to handicap. Are they going to be able to
Especially-
sign Jordan Jefferson or Jordan Addison in 2 years?
Yeah.
Especially for this Super Bowl window that the Detroit Lions are operating within. During this next 1, 2, 3 years, as little friction as possible, let's make it happen. I like it. That's a very keen observation there, young brother.
I'll take it.
I like
we got
it.
Carlton Davis.
Yeah.
We just drafted Terrion Arnold.
We have contingencies.
Yeah, we do have contingencies.
Contingencies
I like
and
that
some
word.
insurance, huh?
Insurance.
Hey.
I didn't even know the elite transition out of KG.
Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your current carrier is not slipping in any extra fees or raising the deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. 313-530-1698. Again, word to Flannel Sam. That number, 313-530-1698. Or visit them online at www.swissins.com and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey guys, you tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch? No. No. Look, it is a new era in sports wearables with new designs, amazing apparel, the ultimate swag. Do yourself a favor, go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. I'm telling you, we're dropping new designs every single week. Justin's already working on some new designs for us. We get Boodum Kids coming soon. Very soon. We're telling you right now, it's coming very soon. But I gotta tell you about the shirts we got up here right now. Kool-Aid, of course, has a couple of these in his closet. You already know. The Welcome to Detroit signed shirts. I mean, if it's for you, go get it.
Yeah.
Tigers, they're coming back around. So you got to get some swag now while you can. And we also got the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes election t-shirts, hoodies, and hats that you got to pick up. Because, you know, mandatory minicamp is coming up soon. So you got to be swagged out for that. So go to woodwardsports.com. Get yourself swagged out. You're going to be looking fresh.
Let's go. Let's go.
Fresh.
Wake up, Woodward. It is time. Get this thing back on the tracks. Hey, you know what, KG? You want to wake him up real quick?
Wake up. Oh, I had to make sure my mic is on. Wake up out of your sleep.
Let's go. Let's go. The Woo Crew's in the building. Shout out to Flannel Sam. I saw him walk in about 20, 30 minutes ago. He's going to be on Big D Energy today. I'm sure this Justin Jefferson news is going to make its way onto the platform. And, shout out to the rest of the crew, though, man. We got that dude Justin in the building. We got the elite booth. Shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick, Mr. KG. We got Woodward Sports MVP, JBSMOOOOOV. Got our credentialed Lions and Tigers reporter and writer, Broder. It's your credentialed Detroit Pistons reporter and writer, Brandon Dan, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. Let's jump right back into it, Mr. Matthew Broder.
Saga says it perfectly, and I see it a couple times here in the chat. ARSB looking good now. I think it was A-Diz 411. It was somebody. Shoot, I lost it. Oh, yeah, A-Diz 411. St. Brown looks low now.
Yeah.
We spent a whole segment on the genius of the timing of Brad Holmes and this Lions team signing St. Brown, Sewell, and Goff.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking a lot even better today.
Already.
Yeah, I was going to say, shout out to Rake in the chat. I think he said Amon-Ra St. Brown is now the third highest paid wide receiver in the league.
Yes. So I was looking during break. In terms of guaranteed money, A.J. Brown had $84 million guaranteed. And I don't know the full contract, but his average annual salary, $32 million, guaranteed $84. Amon-Ra St. Brown was second with $77 million guaranteed. And then Jalen Waddle at $76 million. So we're now saying the record for guaranteed money was $84 million.
Yeah.
Just jumped up to $110.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Ooh. That's crazy.
That Minnesota Vikings. Now that is straight cash, homie.
Yeah.
That is Randy Moss never sniffed that kind of money. One of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Yeah. Obviously, the times have changed, but $110 million guaranteed. That's the part that's resetting the market. Plus $35 million a year.
That wide receiver market is bananas now. And you know, it's a lot of not just good, but really great wide receivers at the top.
Yes. Jamar Chase isn't done yet. T. Higgins wants a long-term deal. Brandon Ayuk wants Amon-Ra St. Brown money. Like this, we're just getting started here.
Mm-hmm.
We're just getting started. I don't know if maybe Ben Johnson needs to limit Jameson Williams' targets this year. Just maybe hold it back one more year. Sign him to an extension now. No. But what this does, not only to the NFC North, to the Lions, to the wide receiver market, this changes. I don't want to say this changes everything. That's kind of a bold statement, but this affects everything.
Absolutely. And particularly in the NFC where you still got CeeDee Lamb that needs to get paid as well. So if he's getting 35, you know, CD hitting up his agent like, hey, I need 37 probably. Like, who knows?
You know what? Vincent, he said it best. The Lions have started some chaos, and we talked about them. And Brad Holmes, it was one of the major points about what they did with Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown contracts, as well as, in my opinion, a little bit of what they did with Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're going to have teams finding it much more difficult to put some, to really fill out their rosters, probably in a more complete way, because now they're going to have to go and make decisions about guys who are saying, hey, see what the Lions just did? I think I'm worth something too.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you got the Minnesota Vikings going out there and cashing out on a player they had to. They had to. How do you not at this stage in J.J. McCarthy's career? He's a rookie coming in.
Yeah.
Give him the best possible position to succeed if this is supposed to be a franchise changer.
That's why I'm not a GM. I think it's
tough.
Again, it's so weird saying it's better for the Lions that they signed Justin Jefferson all this money.
Yeah.
Then again, he is the best wide receiver, and you got to face him twice a year. So hopefully now it's the Lions address their defensive line and secondary so they can go make life tough for Darnold and JJ.
Yeah, how quickly Amon-Ra St. Brown's deal became a deal.
I mean, it was literally AJ Brown signed that contract less than 24 hours after St. Brown.
Yeah.
He was the highest paid receiver in the league from a guaranteed perspective for 18 hours.
I wonder how much things change if, Brad Holmes and co didn't get the deals done that they did. Like, I wonder, what the agents are thinking, because even though we can sit back and say, oh, well, this player is slotted behind this player, I don't believe that Amon-Ra St. Brown's mind is going, I'm slotted behind anybody.
Nobody.
So to be able to get him locked in at that deal at that current time before some of these other guys who are also looking for deals done, I believe that this helps the Lions.
Oh, it does. And you talk about Jared Goff, that's next. We haven't seen the dominoes fall from a quarterback perspective.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be way bigger than this.
If wide receivers are getting this, I'm sorry, already consider Jared Goff's deal a steal. Already. It's a deal already.
Tua, Dak, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like the list goes on. I'm probably missing somebody too. But those guys are next, and the market is just going to keep raising. And yes, the salary cap is growing. It's gonna be larger next year. That doesn't mean like being in the middle of the pack in terms of these contracts is bad. Like that means you're just that much more money. The Lions, we said at the beginning of the show, they have the third most cap space available after the post June 1st designations and cuts, with the asterisk that $10 million of that is tied up in Cam Sutton's contract, which is starting to look like it's going to open up for the Lions, but there's a lot more that needs to be decided between the NFL and the Lions. They like to keep, I think it's like 7, 8, 9, 10 million just available in an emergency fund to sign players, injuries, to do things. And there's so much complicated stuff with these contracts. How much are they saving for players currently on the roster to re-sign them versus having to use it? But they got cash if they need it, whether that's a backup quarterback, whether that's another backup tackle, whether that's that's Quandre Diggs or Marshawn Lattimore, or Justin Simmons, or Buda Baker.
You dirty talker.
I'm talking dirty. Stevie Gilmore's out there still.
Yeah.
I feel good about our secondary, but hey.
If you can add another veteran, that'll set this thing over the top, man.
Jeff Risdon, one of my favorite guys to follow, he was talking on his podcast about when Brian Branch and when Kirby Joseph were not on the field, their safety room, there were some holes. There were some question marks. Like, this roster we say is perfect. It's very strong. There's still some pieces that could be addressed. We'll see. We're going to talk about it more tomorrow.
And just real quick, Steve Wilds, he says Jordan Love, I assume, is asking for $65 million annually. I don't know if that's what he's actually asking for, but think about this already. The implications in the NFC North alone that were able to help organizations cash trap themselves just because we took care of our guys, and once everybody else gets theirs, our guys are going to look like a deal.
Yeah.
I love it.
65 is a
Winning
lot.
organization.
Actually, I don't know if Steve Wilds was joking or not. I agree with a lot that Steve Wilds says in all the shows we connect on.
But he's going to get
It could very well have a 6 in front of it. Like,
that's nuts.
Burrow has 55.
Yeah.
Mahomes had that at some points, being restructured or whatnot. But that is that next step. They talk about Dak getting 62.
Yeah. We're going to see 60 by next year. Absolutely.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
So if I'm the Packers, I'm signing Jordan Love right now. And it's going to have to probably be for more than Goff.
It's going to be more than Goff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But you got to sign him right now, because if he plays even if he plays how he did at the end of last year, that second half of the season, this season, he automatically shoots up to one of the top 5-6 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's 150% a 6 in front of that number.
Mm-hmm. Might want to do it now.
Good job, Brad Holmes.
Man,
Rod Disner, Chris Spillman, Mike Disner, Rod Wood, all those guys.
Special.
Sheila.
Well, we're going to talk more Lions tomorrow, obviously throughout the entire week. Mandatory mini camps start. But before it gets too late in the day, we're also going to carry this segment over into tomorrow. But we got to sneak some in today because that dude, Justin.
That dude.
He was out doing some weekend. All of a sudden on Twitter, I see like these walking interviews pop up of Justin talking to these guys that just raced, talking to the head of the committee setting up the Detroit Grand Prix. Justin, tell us about your freaking weekend.
Well, I did have a weekend, that is for sure. I love going down to the Grand Prix. My second year working it this year, and it was awesome. I got to talk to two-time IndyCar 500 winner Joseph Newgarden coming off that last weekend. I got to talk to the third place and second place finisher, Marcus Armstrong and Marcus Ericsson. And then I also met these kids who JB, if you could throw up the picture of me with the 3 kids, there are dudes who got rims from Aston Martin.
Cool. Nice.
And they got them signed by a bunch of Indy drivers. They flew all the way from Washington. They had to write an essay, won a program to be there. And this kid is literally crying because I interviewed him and he was here. And it was very impactful in my journalism career. I'll remember these kids for a while. They were awesome.
That's amazing. And before we show one of the videos, what was it like downtown? Like, I wasn't there. I saw clips on social media, but when you were describing it before the show, the sounds, the sights.
Oh,
give me a little bit of that.
It was electric. So I actually, the second turn, which is where most of the crashes happen, it is completely uncovered if you have a media pass. So I was able to go on turn 2, completely open section of the track, and they were going, and there was loud, there was rubber coming off the pavement. It was insane. And then the crowd is so nice. Everyone's so kind. They just want to watch the racing.
And it was on the Detroit streets. It wasn't on Belle Isle.
Yes, that is the best part to me.
Cool.
I love the street track. It is so interesting, and it creates such a diverse race through the chaos, through the overtakes. With it being so skinny, it reminds me a lot of Monaco, if you're familiar with the F1 racing. But it's just a challenging track, and there are some issues with it. It is bumpy, and the drivers are saying it needs to be repaved. But other than that, the corners they did repave this year, the drivers were extremely happy about. And I think as we continue having it in downtown Detroit, it's only going to improve year by year, and then the drivers are only going to be more satisfied with the track.
Yeah. Sweet. Do you have an interview that we can see? Like, I hate to cut you off and make this so short. I want to hear more about this, but we got to show one interview.
Oh, yeah.
Today, and we'll talk more, I promise you, tomorrow.
I felt like a proud big bro watching those interviews.
I know.
I appreciate it. JB, will you throw up the one with the guy with the red hat, Marcus Armstrong? That's my favorite interview, and I think that would be the best for the content.
I got you.
Justin Satawa here, and I am here with Marcus Armstrong, Detroit City TV. Wow. Your first podium today, how are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling good. I feel better than your cameraman right now who's about to walk into people.
He is experienced because we're about to go down this escalator and he has done this multiple times, so don't you worry about that. So, how are you feeling about the race today, though?
Savvy, Justin.
It was a good race. I mean, it was chaos. I'm looking forward to watching that one back because I don't know what really happened there. There was just a lot of people crashing. There was some ambitious moves, but I'm sure it was entertaining to watch from the outside.
Yeah, it was dive bomb city for sure. And you actually show a lot of love for this track. You enjoy the challenge. Is there still something you could tweak about the track, or are you pretty happy with how challenging it is and how fun to be on the edge like that?
I do like this circuit. I think the layout is great. I love the city. I do think that we could have a bit more grip out there. They have resurfaced turns 2 and 3, which those two corners feel great. So if we could do that for the entire track, that would be ideal.
Yeah, well, that would be ideal because we just want to keep you guys happy and keep you guys coming to downtown.
Coming back in 3.
I'm so happy for you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
Justin, baby.
Hey, look at that team.
Thanks, fellas. Thank you.
You did great, man. That like
Absolutely.
savvy
Good
little
job.
interview,
Good work.
walking and talking. You knew your stuff. You got good emotion back from him. I love that.
Yeah, I think the walking interviews bring out a little bit more genuine reaction and a more genuine conversation because they don't feel like it's a very well, not professional, but they feel like it's not in the professional format where they have to be so like uptight and they have to be like ooh about the race. Like he showed a lot of emotion there. He showed how I mean, it was his first podium he's ever gotten in IndyCar, so it was very, very amazing to talk to you. Shout out Marcus Armstrong and the rest of the drivers who let me interview them. I low-key do feel like I'm a curse, though, when I interview people before the race, because the 3 people I interviewed before the race were all in the top 3, and they all finished past 12. And then on top of that, the other series that I did, the Indy Next, which is the race below them, I interviewed a driver who was in 8th, and he started off so well, took 2 people in the first lap to move to 6. So I was like, oh yeah, good content. And then he ended up getting into a crash and spinning out and finishing in second to last. So I'm sorry for putting that on you guys. I don't mean to. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully next year's interviews go a little bit better.
Always happens like that. Great job, man. You are elite. Man, you're doing a great job. So excited.
Hey, just the feet on the street crew.
Yeah.
Woo crew. Let's go.
That's that Woo crew.
Let's
I
rock,
love
man.
it.
Good job.
We got to get to What's Trending with JB, but we have a new sponsor that we gotta tell you guys about. You guys will recognize the name, like Fort Minor. But let me tell you about Dr. Pierce. It's the Woodward Sports Injury Insider with Dr. Jeffrey Pierce, the medical director of Michigan Sports and Spine Center. You can catch him every Tuesday on Big D Energy or every Thursday on Imani and Edwards. It's brought to you by MRI of Southfield and features the most advanced imaging and maximum patient comfort for over 20 years. That's at MRI of Southfield. MRIofSouthfield.com is where you need to go.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken Pizza, they're taking over Michigan. They got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit. They're planning to double their number of restaurants this year. They're known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. So be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you or go to www.sorokis.com.
What up, though, people? Welcome back. It's been Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Woo Crew in the building. And I know we are so close to our likes goal. Go ahead, smash that like button, satisfy it, take it out to dinner, treat it nice. Hey, listen, don't treat our like button like Derek Jeter. There's no gift baskets or anything like that. We want relationships with our like button. Go ahead and smash it, man. It supports the crew as always. And I know for this segment, it's time to cook up, JB.
Yeah, but I think Broder's got some news he wants to share.
What am I sharing?
With D-Max.
Oh yeah, we'll shout him out again.
we'll do that.
D-Mac Comedy Night tonight in Plymouth. That's Sidecar Sliders Bar. You can check him out with special guest comedian Martin Butler. This is tonight out in Plymouth from 7:30 to 9:30. This is Darren McCarty. The gloves come off. Comedian, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, wrestler, overall great guy. Go check him out, everyone. Support Darren McCarty.
Damn right.
Stud.
Oh, yeah.
The
Stud.
defender.
All right.
Stud. I bet you he'll probably drop a joke that's trending. Maybe it makes it up on What's Trending with JB tomorrow.
Maybe.
You can only hope.
Kick
Let's
us
see,
off,
man.
JB Smooth.
Let's do it.
Let's get cooking.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, 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 bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Bizzle.
Let's rock.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey,
What up, though?
What's going on? Hey, you guys ever have like a great weekend? You know, everything was smooth, relaxing. You got much rest, and then you got to come back to work, and then you got to deal with this.
Oh, bro.
Oh,
What is this?
damn. This is some kind of factory. Look like the pallets fell over.
Oh! Is it beer?
Damn.
It kind of looks like cans, but I'm not cleaning that up. Nope, I'm not cleaning that up.
I'm getting as far out of that building as possible.
Yeah. This remind me of Amazon, man.
What's going on?
I worked at Amazon for a short stint. This is giving me nightmares. Oh my God.
It's like Ready Player One where they all live.
Why? I'm not
cleaning this
leaving the room.
Yeah,
Like, why
I'm
am
not
I staying
responsible.
in there while
I'm not cleaning that
it's
up.
like Inception style crashing down all around me?
Somebody got to clean this shit. It won't be me. Won't be me.
I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it.
Catch me quitting, low key.
That's wild.
For real.
So is anybody cleaning that up, or are you just walking
Bro,
out?
that
after
is some Final Destination type stuff.
Hey, and whoever set that up like that,
You're fired!
seriously,
There
like
you go, KG.
Out of there.
And to answer your question, no, JB, I am not touching not one of them cans.
Oh,
Not at all.
Well, that's sad. That's sad. But Kool-Aid, you did say you were out at the Toledo Mud Hens game, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
you
shout
know
out
what?
to
I think
Mud.
you were a day short because you missed out on the Nathan's hot dog eating champion, Mr. Joey Chestnut, was out there
Wow.
housing some ice cream.
I saw this.
this guy's a
Crazy behavior, bro.
I can't believe this.
What a champion,
Oh,
man.
brain freeze.
Right.
Oh
that
my
hurts.
God.
Yes.
I can't do that, man.
Bro.
Dairy ice cream at that?
He is insane, bro.
Yo, rest in peace to your stomach and your toilet, bro.
Yeah, man. The toilet is.
What flavor do you think it's housing?
It's got to be vanilla.
It gotta be,
Vanilla,
yeah,
it looks
vanilla.
like vanilla.
That's boring.
You can't have no cookies and cream. You'll choke.
That's disgusting, bro. I would have like 10 brain freezes by now.
Shout out to Jordan.
You guys
Stratt
are
for this
missing
for
the-
this video.
Bro, he can't go nowhere if he's like.
And look at the hot dog behind him, too.
Bro, you know everybody asked him to competitively eat everything.
You know, Kobayashi just retired.
Everything, KG?
Yeah, everything. Seriously.
He definitely has some of the greatest, most nasty shits of all time.
Oh my God.
Jesus, man.
That's enticing.
I wonder if-
Good morning, everybody.
That's a sport, man.
Joey
That's a bomb in the
Chestnut versus
background.
Fish Girl.
Why do you got the hot dog guy just standing with his
This
head
is
on his
making me
head?
sick.
It's flannel.
Next. Nah, thank you. Next.
Oh, the brain freeze kicking
You
in.
good? You can't handle it, brother?
No, this is gross.
Oh, man.
It's just too much.
Yeah. It's going to take him another hour to finish those. That'd be probably like 10 minutes. But
Yeah. Cup 7 was starting to catch up with him. You can see he's starting to get that brain freeze a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, everything was starting to catch up. But once again, shout out to Jordan Strack for that video as well, too. But hey, you know what? You guys ever been just, out on a date with the girl at the ballpark and, just want to impress her?
Broder
as
was
much as
this
you can?
weekend. He's
Right.
telling us.
You just want to impress her as much as you can, but you know what? You always end up coming up short.
Whoa.
Ballpark and, treat your lady nice, get her a foul ball. You know what? You can't even grab the ball. Come on, man.
She might give him some pity love, though. She was kind of
Yeah,
smiling.
she might. Especially when he's like, you
Some
laughed at
pity
me
love.
on national TV. Everyone can see this.
Wait, time out. Early mailbag question.
Oh, boy.
From Brandon's Cats. Mailbag. Does his date catch an Uber home?
Oh,
Maybe.
I get it.
That wasn't
I
funny.
get
You
it.
guys.
I-
You know he's not.
That was
That was
slick.
hilarious.
Does he
That was slick.
catch
Yeah, because he
an
didn't
Uber home?
Yeah.
I get it.
That was
Shout out
slick.
to Ryan's reaction.
That was slick. And the final video I got for you guys, because I believe this just happened over the weekend, but remember I was telling you guys about the glow in the dark baseball game?
Yes.
Oh,
Play this.
yes. Oh, my
It
God.
happened this weekend.
I saw something about this.
So this is them basically turning the lights out for the glow game.
I love
I actually
it.
think it looks unreal.
Yeah,
That's
that shit dope.
crazy.
That's so awesome.
For the
That's
glow
dope.
game. Like, come on. And then this is basically them hitting right now.
This is a question. How will it look? It's hard to. Oh,
See,
geez.
look,
Okay.
it's hard to see anything. What are you
Alright,
looking at?
Yeah,
didn't see
it
this
is a
part.
little.
I can't even see what's going on.
Thought the ball would be easier to see in the dark because it glows in the dark. But
shout out to the Tri-City Chili Peppers for these videos as well too. But man, they had themselves a game, and the next game is actually sold out. Can you believe that?
Come on,
for this glow in the dark game.
I would go.
Sold out already.
Yeah, Where is it? Where are the Tri-City Chili Peppers?
I believe they're in New York.
Imagine trying to catch one off the wall in the dark. Like, oh my god!
Like, you can't see where the ball is.
Pardon?
You can't see where the ball lands though anymore. Like at a certain point.
Dangerous.
Like does it get lost in the lights? You know, on like a fly or a pop up. But it looks
lost
cool.
in the dark.
It looks
See, look now.
As a game every once in a while, I think it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
You know.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do this like every game, but you know, once in a while, it wouldn't be bad. But I don't mind it. I'd like to go to a game, but that's it for what's trending today, you guys.
That's dope. I'm trying to figure out how do we get J-Mo as many targets per game as a suit guy. How do we do that?
Right. They thought J-Mo had bad hands, man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well,
first, we got some business to handle.
We do. When we come back to the mailbag segment presented by
Get
Feldman.
those mailbag questions.
But I gotta tell you, unfortunately, the marriage statistics aren't very high these days, and it keeps getting worse. So if you're dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham, they'll have your back. They got 10 plus years of experience, and they're 24/7 availability. Just scan the QR code on the screen right above my head or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. These are the things that make KDK, that separate them from the rest. That's KDK Law. They've got your back.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Just visit visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. feldmanauto.com. You can also catch Woodward Sports there. Our show, Wake Up Woodward, and Big D Energy, I believe Wednesday. Once a month, Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. They are Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
My name is Lizzie. I'm from Canton.
Oh.
All right. Hey, look, you want one of these 3-on-3 draft party shirts, right? Hey, show them the shirt. Show them the shirt. Are you ready? Are you ready to see what you got to do?
I'm so ready.
You guys?
I'm ready.
All right.
My name is...
Shout out to Lizzie from Canton. We found her, brother. We found her.
Yep.
She's going to now be a permanent place on this show.
I love it.
Hey. Welcome back. Huh?
Is it Go Lions?
Let's go Lions. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for rocking out with the Woo Crew today. It's been a great show. And chat family, you guys helping us today. Continue to smash that like button. Satisfy that like button. And once you have, encourage somebody else to do the same. Be a friend.
Be a friend.
Be a friend.
Tell a friend.
And it's time for our Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. Have you seen any interesting mailbag questions
I
yet?
sure have.
Oh, let's get into
This is
it.
one from earlier. Steve DeYoung. He says, mailbag. Say AG gets that head coaching job. who takes over as defensive coordinator? Oh, this came in when we were talking Terrell Williams. He says Kelvin Shepard, Terrell Williams, or do you bring an outsider like a Robert Saleh?
Stop it.
Mailbag, what happens when AG becomes the head coach? What do you do?
I think it would be a Terrell Williams or a Kelvin Shepard, to be honest. I think they want to keep it in-house. That seems to be a trend that they've done over the years, and they would prefer to keep it in-house if they absolutely can. So I would see one of them moving up. If in terms of who exactly, I don't know. Between Kelvin Shepard and Terrell Williams, who you think would get the job? Kelvin Shepard's been here longer, but Terrell Williams has a bigger track record.
I'd say Terrell Williams is more ready for the job right now, likely more ready at the end of this season. I do have a feeling that Kelvin Shepard is in the plans of being their future DC.
Okay.
Like, I just feel like he's been being groomed. He's the Tanner Angstrand of the defense.
Yeah.
He's the former Ben Johnson. And he'll probably admit that too when he first came on. Like, he just started with the linebackers and then the pass rush. I think he's going to be a future DC. Might take a couple years. That makes his signing of Terrell Williams even better if he can slide right into that role after this season. If AG takes another job, takes a head coaching job.
And if you look at Kelvin, he's been the sole survivor. There's been a lot of people in and out of that defensive coaching room, and he's the one constant. So
wild card though is if someone like Robert Saleh comes available. Shoot,
that's tough though.
Maybe Terrell Williams gets a head coaching job or a DC job with another team. Maybe Mike Vrabel's still available and doesn't want to be a head coach.
Yeah. I would love to see Robert Saleh back as a D coordinator.
Bring Robert Saleh home.
Yes.
Back home.
Because he's definitely going to get fired. So Aaron Rodgers is going to get that man fired, man. But go ahead.
Charles McClain, what is it about that was the developing hitters question from earlier. I'll pivot to another Tigers question. Although thanks for that question, Charles McClain. Greg A. 753 says, Broder, do you think Torque comes back this year?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Maybe by All-Star break, but absolutely, you should expect him to come back. He's too much of a focal point in this team's plans for him to stay down that long.
Yeah, if he's not back by the All-Star break, then we have problems.
Yeah,
then red alert. Then the sirens start going because he is the way the roster is constructed now, including in the minor leagues. He's your first baseman of the now and the future. That's what makes it so difficult to be patient with because he's been so bad, but he's it.
Yeah.
He's it.
At what point in time do you make that decision that he's probably or might not be a part of your future?
I think after this year. I think you got to give him the year to see what he can do. You send him down. This is his second send down in his career, I believe. So
2022 was his last one.
Yeah, so he's already been sent down a couple times, not necessarily the best. I think you give him the end of the year to evaluate what he's going to do down in AAA, and then once you bring him back to the majors, see where he's at. But you can't make a decision on him until the end of this year, I feel like.
I'm with you. I'm down to give him a year. There could be someone, and I hate to use them as an example, the Tampa Bay Rays. Who are like, oh, we see something in his swing, we'll fix him.
Yeah.
Like Isaac Paredes.
Yeah. No, I've been saying that. I have been saying that. Like, should you consider Torque maybe a trade piece at this point and maybe just cut bait? Because he hasn't panned out. And the thing with Torque that's so bad is that when he was drafted, he was supposed to be one of those players that were supposed to be fast-tracked to the majors. Like,
He's a little too fast.
He broke the Barry Bonds record in college. A lot of people thought he was MLB ready. It just would take him a little bit of time, but he would be in the show. And since he's been in the show, we haven't got shit to show for it. So, it is what it is.
Oh, I missed this at some point. Would have been the perfect one to carry this on. But Nate Edgington, how well does Torque have to hit, and for how long until you think he gets back to the show? I think we just described it.
Yeah.
We're giving him 2 months.
Yeah.
Like to see him up in a month.
In AAA, do you think 275 is outrageous? I think if he gets his average up to 275, pop some homers, maybe like 6 or 7, do you think that's solid numbers? Or what numbers should he put up in order to get back?
I don't know about... Yes, you want him to hit 275. You definitely want him to hit over 250. But you want to see him hit the ball well more than maybe the average show. Like, if he's hitting the ball hard... and he's, lining out for outs, that's one thing. If he's able to fix the mechanical issues of why he can't catch up to a 92-mile-an-hour fastball right over the heart of the plate, those are the ones he should be destroying. you want to see him hit those hard, whether he gets out or not. You just want to see him make the adjustments that he's struggling with at the big league level before you call him up. So, shoot, where was that question that I had? Big Con, 51. Mailbag, I could be off, but the same thing Stafford left the Lions for, no defense, no run game, all pass. Don't it seem like that's what the Rams are becoming?
I would say that.
I happen to think I actually like the Rams' run game a lot more this year than last year. And Kyron Williams was an all-pro running back last year.
Yeah.
He's still young. He's a little beat up right now, but I love the draft pick of Blake Corum to that team.
Yeah.
Not just because I love Blake Corum. He's a Michigan man. I love him going there because they just solidified the interior of that offensive line.
Yeah. They got solid defensive pieces, too. Kobe Turner. Who did they draft on the defensive line? Braden Fisk?
Fisk, the two Florida State guys.
Yep, Akilo Witherspoon in the secondary. They got some pieces. I wouldn't say it's that bad.
Yeah, they got some pieces. I think the defense is a question mark. The offense. And I think they figure out how to recover from losing Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Which I think they're on the right path. Can't say it's going to happen immediately, but I like moving Steve Avila to guard, signing Jonah Jackson, who's strong in the run game, and then having Kevin Dotson as your right guard, combined with Haverstein, and I'm forgetting who their left tackle is. I like them on offense. I think Stafford, as long as he doesn't want another contract extension, which is actually the rumor out there, he wants more money. I
More
think
guaranteed.
he would leave the Rams in a better place than he left the Lions. Although he left the Lions and we got Goff and the draft picks, and so
it's easy to do. He won a Super Bowl, so
exactly
whatever he does now is irrelevant. He already got it done. So
exactly. Any last questions that you guys see?
Yeah, for Therese Ames said, tuck it between your legs. You've lost 3 years in a row. I don't care that we cheated. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And we won the Natty. And if you won the Natty, you would be saying the same thing. So go home and tuck it between your legs.
Kiss the rings, bitch.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Got you.
Justin on the way out, he said, I'm just going to drop this real quick.
Justin, after his weekend performance, Justin, let him fly. Let him fly. Nice job. I do. I like that orange. I like the orange hat with the blue, with the Motor City Connects.
Yeah,
it works. It works.
It
works. Great show Monday, boys.
You know what? Last week they were calling us out. They said that we didn't do no passes. So
that's because
get it back going.
There was some sickness flying around.
Yeah. Yep. Want to make sure that the crew can stay good and healthy while we also still observe as much as we can. No days off.
Shout out Dante151 for the dono. We appreciate you.
Big facts.
Hey. Definitely. I know he sent a couple of them this show as well. But thank you to everybody, man, especially the chat family. Obviously, you guys know we smashed. We zoomed on through the like goal today. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, definitely make sure you do it before you move on with the rest of your day. We appreciate you guys, as always, for choosing to kick off the morning with the Woo crew, man. Wake up, Woodward. This has been awesome. It's like Mondays no longer are one of those kind of just long, arduous days for us. Glad that we're able to get in here and do this, but we breaking this thing down?
Yeah.
Let's break it down. Shout out to that dude, Justin, man.
Yeah.
Just continues to get upgraded every single week. You do good work. It's cool to see your work as well, man. Glad to have you along with the Woo crew.
Thank you. Shout out Woo crew. Shout out all you guys. Shout out chat. You guys are all make this possible and all make me feel so welcome. So thank you so much to you guys.
Hey, listen, man. Just this is what I tell everybody who has serious aspirations. Keep crushing, man, but stay consistent.
Yes, sir.
That's the key. Keep doing your thing and keep being a good person. Shout out to our elite booth. In the sound booth, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick and Rookie of the Year on his way to Woodward Sports MVP.
You damn right.
We got KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood.
And one step closer to my MVP case, like you said, I teased some news on Thursday.
Hey,
Going forward, I will be doing the audio for Armani and Edwards with masks.
So you talking about the 3-peat then?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
I make up 75% of the audio on the network now. So
let's go.
Hey, man, if y'all was sick of me before, just find something else to watch from 2 to 4, man.
And this something we were trying to figure out. We were like, hey, man, maybe we can make this happen back in like January.
Yeah, man.
So to see it happening, shout out to you. Honestly, it's a testament to your dedication, and even more so, the type of person you are.
Thank you.
I'm happy to see your success.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Definitely. Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD booth, because Tuesday is on the way. That is JBSMOOOOOV.
What's up, fellas? Hey, breast.
Hey.
That's all I can say. It's been an amazing show, KG. Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Ronnie Edwards now. You moving up there, man.
Couldn't have did it without you, man.
See, moving up there. Hey, it's been an amazing show. Watch out Monday Night Raw tonight. We're gonna figure out what's gonna happen with Dirty Dom and
the plot thickens.
and Liv Morgan. See what's going on there. And y'all, take it easy on Caitlin Clark, man. Just be easy on her.
We got
She's
to
still
talk
learning.
about that this week, man. We got to talk about that.
She's
Got
having a
some
rough go of it.
perspectives. Got some perspectives, man.
I want to talk about Draymond Green.
Hey, we got to talk about that as well. And Rasheed Wallace. And he had something else to say this morning, too. Rasheed Wallace to Draymond. He said, y'all are too effing little. I love it. Shout out to Flannel Sam as well, the vet of the squad, man, the fifth member of the starting five. Always does great work and can't wait to see him on Big D Energy. Tap in. This, though, is my brother here, Mr. Matt Broder. Does great job on everything, man.
Thank
This
you.
whole crew. I love the crew we run with because everybody does work. Our credential Lions and Tigers reporter and writer, Matthew Broder. And it's your boy, Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons writer and reporter. This has been Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with us. Have a blessed one, you all.